Hello everyone, welcome back to the Reese's Writing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing some films that I would like to put to your attention, some science fiction films that are less known or, don't have the sort of well-known audience. They've been sort of forgotten about, or they're sort of indie and not as well known. But they're really good. They're some of my favorite ones of recent time. I would say 2022 onwards. So let's start off with the earliest, the oldest one. I feel like it had a bit of buzz around it at the when it first came out, but it sort of slowly lost its traction. But I thought it was a really funny and just nice film to watch, but it has a lot of things to do with friendship and losing like friends, or like not having friends, or just I don't know, being alone. And I think a lot of films after lockdown and stuff sort of dealt with that sort of thing, but this is a fun, heartfelt, like easygoing, something you could watch just for a little bit of heart, like a little bit of enjoyment, and that is Brian and Charles by Jim Archer. So this is about a man who is sort of building robots, or is a bit of a mishmashed, like combining things to create some sort of inventions, like creations, and he makes this weird sort of model of a robot, and it comes to life. Essentially, it becomes a sort of human type robot thing, and some like Frankenstein-esque, where it just sort of becomes real. And yeah, it's just really good. It's a really good, funny comedy, like British comedy, with a lot of good moments, like him being built out of a washing machine and cabbages, and just him learning about the world, him being the sort of positive force in Brian's life, and getting to, enjoy the finer things, all that sort of things, enjoying the world that he's around, just appreciating stuff more because of this random robot that's just come alive in his garage. So yeah, fun, and just a nice, easygoing film that you should go watch because it's really funny. And yeah, that is Brian and Charles. And then I'd want to say to go watch The Universal Theory by Tim Kroger. I did a sort of recent review of this, or like on a recap, I think from December, about this film, but it has a lot of elements that it harkens back to sort of Alfred Hitchcock, the sort of noir, the science fiction, black and white, like thriller. Something's going on in this world. It harkens back to a lot of sort of science fiction tropes from books, and these professors coming to this alpine resort to discuss this breakthrough this person has, but he can't make it. Is about the main character discovering what's going on in this mountain, a bit of weirdness happening, and love and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's just a really sort of well done, harken back to old style. There's some really good sound effects and visual effects that aren't too overpowering, but they really add to the effect, the feeling of these science fiction-y type effects that are going on. And they're just really well done, for sort of a low budgety type, or somewhat low budget feel. All done in black and white, so it's got that like black and white noir feel to it. I feel like there's a twist at the end which was a bit too on the nose, a bit too, not for me, but it was all right. I liked the build up of these secrets and his slow unraveling, which you don't really see much in science fiction. the sort of development, science fiction films anyway, of this intelligent development of ideas and creations, which a lot of science fiction books are based on. It doesn't delve too deep into it, or I think it doesn't get bogged down in that sort of thing, like trying to understand it. It sort of sticks more to the thriller aspect of it all, trying not to get caught and all that sort of stuff. But overall, it's a fun watch. It's not very well known either. There's not much stuff about it, but it's a really good film, and you should go watch it. I think it's German. I think it might be. The third one I'd like to talk about is Mars Express by Jeremy Perrin. This is much more sort of sci-fi, science fiction-y, like investigation, Blade Runner-esque, about this woman who is undergoing this investigation into murders with her AI robot sidekick, and she's slowly unraveling this mystery and this world changing thing that's going to happen. It's really well, like the animation is animation. If I said, I didn't know if I said that. And the animation is really well done. It's sort of done in this comic book animation that's quite popular with TV shows like Invincible, Scavenger's Reign, which I still need to watch because it sounds pretty great. But this comic book style animation that's quite popular these days has some things of 3D with the tracking and some really cool technology that they do really well. They've designed really well and like created this movement that feels physical and sort of part of the world. It feels well implemented. It has a lot of stuff about AI, robots, where the boundary lies between humans and robots, how people feel sort of threatened, sort of harkening back to sort of, I think minorities and all that sort of like race problems, but now we're turning that into sort of robots, AI. How do we deal with the power struggle with AI becoming massive and powerful? How does that play out? And this is all done in Mars, and the investigation is really well done. I think the ending's a bit of a letdown for me. I can't, like, the more I sit with it, the more I feel like it kind of ended quite well, but it built up really well, and then it twisted too quickly for me, and then all of a sudden, like, forget about anything, just focus on this thing. And bit of a weird twist, and there was a lot of like black screens to transition to different scenes, which I thought I can see like they didn't really have a sort of transitioning period, and like a lot of films do it, but I think it's they could do something a little bit more interesting, a fade, or some form of crossfade, just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more interesting. There was a lot of sudden cut to blacks, and it was quite abrupt. But besides those problems, I think the story is really well done, and it's a good animation, good French animation, dealing with a lot of issues that are arising in near future potentially. Scary stuff. And then the next one that I want to bring to attention is The Beast by Bertrand Bonello. It's a French film again, about this woman who's trying to sort of purify her sort of memories of this guy she's fallen in love with. They've had problems in the past, and it's all sort of developing through that. It's very, very avant-garde-y, I would say. It's not. There's a lot of bizarre stuff that doesn't really make sense, and a lot of randomness that kind of makes sense in the program, but There's parts where you don't really realize you're in a program or not. Feeling of like, are they time travelers? What's going on here? There's a lot of questions that aren't really answered, but they kind of are, and there's a lot of bizarre stuff going on. But I think the love couple type way it's done is well done. The development of this complex story and development of characters is well done, and the sort of the feel of it is quite good. The like, I don't know how to really explain this one. It's quite, I think you should just watch it yourself. It's kind of weird. It's very weird. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense. But it just flows quite well. It's got a lot of cool moments and sort of scenes, and I'm really selling this. I'm really selling this one. Yeah, it's just a tough one to explain, really. I think it deals with memories of, dealing with memories like how they change over time, aspects of people sort of, you put them to the back of your mind, and like that is not really explored, but more sort of interpreted through these stories, and how someone's personality can be overridden and changed depending on which time, or how like in this time certain personality traits would be different, or personalities just wouldn't exist. Like there's one that's very modern, and there's a certain personality in that which I didn't really see coming. I'll just get on to the next one, but go watch The Beast. If you like weird science fiction that deals with lots of sort of memories, or having these struggles, and the different times that they live in. And then the final one that I want to draw your attention to is called The End by Joshua Oppenheimer. This is a end of the world musical. I didn't think I would like it. I'm not a big fan of musicals. I really dislike some musicals with a passion. I kind of like La La Land. I thought it was a bit too pretentious. I really liked Blood Brothers, but that was when I was younger, and I don't know, I just kind of liked it. But if I watch it now, I don't know if I'd be as big of a fan. Hamilton was tolerable. Greatest Showman was tolerable. But that's it. Most of the other musicals I can't get through. Musical, crazy about his family living in a salt mine, dealing with the food they have, having these amazing paintings of landscapes and ordering them, rearranging them, like treating them with such respect and dignity, and like they sort of fill in cracks, and they have these sort of routines that they go through every day. And then a girl comes in and sort of shakes it all up. But the characters are the best part of this film. You don't really have much of a grasp of them. They feel a bit shallow at the beginning, and you can see where some of them they're like their sort of main traits are. But once you start learning about them, they become so much more. They have so many different layers that change your perspective on them, and shifts the whole pattern, the whole family aspect. The social aspects of it all are really well done. The dialogue is just set in in the world. There's not too much exposition. There's not much exposition. It's much more based in the world, their sort of feeling of the world they're in. It doesn't lend your hand, but it starts off. I wasn't sure about how I was going to feel about it at the start, but it really grew on me as I went on. And the musical stuff is at times a bit annoying, but I don't know. It really adds the sort of that interior monologue that I think musicals do. I don't think I've ever seen it done this well. Stuff that really does feel like actual interior stuff, not just an expansion of what's going on in the real world. This really feels like they are shouting out from their mind, and it's the end of the world. You're in a salt mine. Why wouldn't you start singing? That's kind of my idea behind it. And yeah, Tilda Swinton's great in it. I forgot the main character's name in it, but it's a really well thought out look at these characters that have things hidden, and it slowly, sort of really, really well done, slowly comes to the front of their problems. Joshua Oppenheimer's sort of mainly deals with documentaries. He's mainly a documentary person. The act of killing, the look of silence. And I think documentary filmmakers have a really good understanding of like dialogue or like people in general, how they develop. It just feels more alive. I think that documentary they can look at people and find things that no other people can find, that sort of thing. It's really impressive, documentaries. And the end really pulls on that, like digging under the surface to find things that are really interesting and intriguing to the film, that makes it more than just them being stuck in a cave without anything to do. And those are the films that I would like to bring you to attention. If you've watched any of those, let me know what you thought. If you like them, go watch them. They're great. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.